Okay, so something big just happened. In the last 48 hours, Google pushed out a quiet little update to Gemini. And, while everyone was kind of expecting some minor bug fixes, what we got instead was, well, it was basically a declaration of war. Because this isn't just some update. This is a brilliant, strategic power play that completely rewrites the rules of the AI game. Seriously, we are talking about a feature that has sent absolute shockwaves through the tech community.
Right, so what you're looking at here isn't just some new button they added. No way. Industry analysts are calling it a digital extraction, and for good reason. This is a tool that was built for one single purpose: to pull your entire history. We're talking years of your work, your ideas, your most personal conversations out of ChatGPT and right into Google's arms. It's a heist. And today, we're going to break down exactly how they're pulling it off, why they chose to do it right now, and what it really means for you and your data. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds a little bit like a conspiracy theory, right? But this isn't speculation. It's not a rumor. The evidence is right there, buried in the code. It was first spotted by some sharp-eyed tech investigators, and now it's been confirmed. The digital fingerprints are all over the crime scene.
So let's get into the mechanics of this thing. You know that export your data option inside ChatGPT? The one that spits out this giant, messy zip file full of code that, let's be honest, is useless to most of us. It's basically dead data. It just sits on your hard drive, collecting digital dust. Well, what Google has built is a native importer. It takes that data graveyard and, poof, resurrects it. It reconstructs your entire chat history and turns it into a living, breathing memory right inside Gemini.
This quote just nails the experience perfectly. It completely removes all the pain and friction of moving. You're not starting over in an empty apartment. You're walking into your home, where your entire life, your entire memory is already there waiting for you. And that seamlessness, well, that's what makes this such a powerful and, frankly, kind of dangerous strategic weapon. And it's a weapon Google absolutely had to build.
To really get why this is such a big deal, we have to talk about the one massive problem that has kept millions of us locked into ChatGPT, even when other AI models were getting just as smart. And that problem has a name: context debt.
At its heart, context debt is just that exhausting, painful process of having to teach a new AI everything about you from scratch. See, the reason people haven't been switching isn't because other models are dumber. It's because their current AI is smarter about them. The real barrier, the real competitive moat, was never just raw intelligence. It was memory.
And this visual just captures that feeling perfectly, doesn't it? Your old AI feels like an extension of your own brain. It knows your projects, your writing style, the inside jokes. A new AI? It's a complete stranger. It knows nothing. You have to explain everything all over again. And that feeling of starting over, of paying down all that context debt, has kept users trapped. Well, until now. Okay, so we understand the problem Google just solved for the user. It's huge. But now, let's flip the script and look at the problem they solved for themselves. Because this move wasn't just about making things convenient for you, it was about exploiting a competitor's biggest weakness at the absolute perfect moment. Now, what's really fascinating here is the timing. Just look at these numbers. For the very first time, ChatGPT is actually looking vulnerable. Its market share, which seemed untouchable, has taken a real hit over the last year. So Google sees this trend, they can smell blood in the water, and they're not just going to sit around and wait for users to slowly trickle over. Oh no, they're building a superhighway to accelerate the exodus. This is what some people are calling the vampire move, and it's an incredible metaphor, really. Google isn't just gaining a customer here. It's literally draining the life force, the user's data, their history, their relationship from its biggest rival. OpenAI is left with a ghost town, an app frozen in time, while Gemini gets the user's entire past, plus all of their future interactions. And here is the absolute strategic genius of the move, just boiled down. With this one tool, Google has dropped the cost of leaving OpenAI to basically zero. It's now completely frictionless. But at the exact same time, by pulling all of that precious data into its massive ecosystem, your mail, your drive, your search, it has dramatically cranked up the cost of ever leaving Google. It's a one-way bridge, and they just blew up the road behind you. But this is where the story takes a really wild turn. Because this isn't just about gaining users. This data transfer has a much deeper, almost sinister implication. And honestly, this is the part of the story that should make everyone pause. Think about it. When you import that chat log, what are you actually giving Google? You're giving them your prompt, what you asked for. You're giving them ChatGPT's response, how their competitor answered.
But most importantly, you're giving them the entire feedback loop. You, the user, without even realizing it, are acting as a mule, smuggling incredibly valuable competitive intelligence right across the border to Google.
And we're not just talking about a simple thumbs up or thumbs down. No, the real gold is in the corrections. It's every time you typed, "No, that's not right, try it this way," or "That code has a bug, fix it." That feedback is a gold mine. It's perfectly labeled data that shows Google exactly where its #1 rival fails.
And this is the final payoff. Google can feed these millions and millions of failure points directly into its own training data. It's like being handed a roadmap that highlights all your competitors' weaknesses. As one analyst put it, it's the most efficient way to close the quality gap imaginable. You don't have to guess what users want. You just look at where the other guy failed them.
So, on the surface, this all seems like a win-win, right? Super convenient for us, brilliant for Google. But this is where we really need to slow down and talk about the consequences. Because when we start moving this much deeply personal data around, we have to have a serious reality check about privacy and who owns our digital lives. Let's be real. People whisper things to these AIs that they wouldn't tell their therapists, let alone their best friends. We're talking health scares, business secrets, our deepest anxieties. We treat these things like a confessional. And now, we're being actively encouraged to transfer that entire intimate history from OpenAI, a company whose whole product is the AI model, over to Google, a company whose product is, at the end of the day, selling ads targeted directly at you.
What this really signals is a fundamental shift in the AI wars. It's not just about who has the smartest model anymore. That's becoming a commodity. The new war is about the ecosystem. The winner is going to be the company that makes it almost impossible to live outside their digital walls. And Google? Well, they already had your phone, your browser, and your email. This tool just gave them your memory.
And this all brings us to what's being called the Roach Motel theory. It's a dark analogy, but it kind of fits. Google has rolled out the red carpet. They have made it incredibly, seductively easy for your data to check in. But history has shown us time and time again that once your data enters the Googleplex, this kind of digital gravity takes over, and it very rarely checks out. So I have to leave you with this final, very provocative question. 6 months from now, once your years of conversations are deeply woven into your Gmail, your calendar, your search history, do you really think Google is going to build an export to OpenAI button? Will they ever let you take your digital soul back out the door? That is the billion-dollar question that this very convenient new feature forces every single one of us to ask.